Futures Trading. I'd like to welcome you to the channel. I'm going to give you a price to consider moving forward. But before doing so, I want to welcome everybody to the channel. If you're new, thank you so much for stopping by. Please start with this video here if you're new. That'll help you a great deal. I have tons of videos and there's a lot of information on this channel, but to start there, if you're having trouble reading the bar, all right, so if you're having trouble reading that live candle, I'm not going to do it in this video. Take in this series right here, all right, teach you where the candle's high and low it's at while it's moving and what type of bar it should be before it even closes, no matter what it looks like. It's not a one-off. There's 4 videos here, a lot of information. Threshold, how far the candle pulled back. Price action trend, you just need to be able to count to 10. Then the price action method, I use the majority principle, which states the minority is compelled to follow. Chart scale, I teach you how to read your bezel. I want you guys to keep in mind this price because I'm going to take a break here, and I gave them this information yesterday, so I want to give it to you. All right, so this 30,334.50, all right, just try to keep this in mind. I told them this on yesterday because I had posted this. Let's just click on it here. I had posted this like on the 9th. I believe it was back on the 9th. Yes, on the 9th, that high could end up holding it for the rest of the month. All right, so keep in mind that price there. Just try to keep this price in mind because I know they came off that low yesterday, but then they ended up taking right back off to the downside there. I tried to give them a comparison to just let them know they came close to that price, but then they turned around, and of course they went down even further, you know, so they just went down even further. So just try to keep that in mind. If you are in need of indications, I do have that as well. These are just zones. I have like four different zones, but I think those are pretty robust. If you're a scalper, you can come over to this channel here. I have information for you. I actually laid out which indicators you may want to start with and just try to frame it out based on this information. Again, I just put this stuff here, so it's going to take a little while for people to catch on. I think people really liking this one. So, but just take a look at that information there. If you, and I was doing a little bit of an analysis down here, just trying to give you an idea of what's going on with your markets. But try to take in some of that information, and again, keep that price in mind. All right, you want to get them back above that. Just want to get them back above that. Now, when it comes to today, all right, when it comes to today, if they can stay down, see if you can get them beneath 29,493.75. See if you can keep them up under there, if at all possible. All right, pause the video, rewind it. I'm telling you some information that's important. All right, now, otherwise they may have just set the low. We'll just look at it like that. But see if they can, if they're going to stay down, get them under that 29,483.75. See if you can get them to do that. Otherwise, they may have just set the low. All right. So again, information channel here, you know, and then of course indication channel here if you're interested. Now, I'm gonna read this with you just for a moment. I'm not going to take up a lot of your time. If you're new to trading, this is what I want you to do. I want you to come to the center of your chart and do this. This is a 15-second chart. All right. Just do this if you're having a hard time with trading, and do this. Divide it in half. All right. Now this may be just a tad bit too high, but don't worry about it. I can drag it down just a hair. But I want you to come to your center of your chart and do that. That'll help you kind of get an idea of what they're doing. All right. Now the next thing I want you to do is just divide the upper half. Hindsight will never stop you out. And always know that. So all you would have to do is learn to read this hard right edge. It's really simple. It's not as complicated as most people make it to be. It's not. And I'm going to do a little bit of it for you right now. All right. So, and then I will let you go again. I'm taking my break and I will see you guys. I don't know. So we want to see big wick, little wick. That's there. This midpoint didn't really fall below there, but they're going to break this. If they're going to go down with just a big wick, little wick scenario, that's the threshold. It's falling right at the midpoint of the chart. They should push into it and come down, but they're not wanting to do that. So maybe, just maybe, let's go with our pattern. Our pattern is up here. If you want to know what our pattern is, I'm going to go over that right now. I think they can blow this bottom, but maybe they're going to just go ahead and take it to the upside. This bottom is a problem, but don't worry about it. Maybe they'll take it to the upside. So our pattern is this. We're trying to find if they're going to go up. We're going to do this. We're going to look for this if they're going to go up. We want the midpoint to exceed the high. All right. That's not happening. Okay, so there you go. That's what I thought would happen. So we want the midpoint to exceed the low. So we want that midpoint here to exceed the high or the low, depending on which way you're going. Now, once that happened, because it just happened, and all of it is there. It's telling you that it'll go that far. Keep in mind what I just did. You measured that bar. This is your bar here to the result. That's the result of what just happened. All right. The midpoint fell beneath that low, and then you do that. All right. So now let me do it over here so you'll know. You don't have to do hindsight. All right. The channel is about real time. And occasionally I'll try to tell you how far it's going before it even gets there. All right. And that's the other part. And then in that professional timing video, I try to tell you what the bar should be before it even closes. All right, so that's how far they're saying they're going. We got everything there. Here's the only thing. I think the threshold up here would be a problem. So let's just go with this threshold. Look like they're coming through it. But how far is too far? Them getting up here is bad, but let's see what they do with it. Because if they go too far, they can run your bar. So you're really wanting them to do one of these, right? You want them to do this. Come into the threshold. Okay, you want them to kind of come in there and then take off. You want them to come in there and then take off. You don't want them to go too far because then they'll run your bar. You see, they'll run the bar. That's bad. You don't want that. Now, I did know that this was a problem. This isn't bad, but we'll see. Now, we got a trend down as well as a trend up. Now, I did tell you now, if they're going to stay up, this is your bottom for the day, and then they'll just go up. But if not, then yeah, we're going to go down some more. All right, so now let's count our trend because they made a trend down. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 7. All right, that's a trend down. Try to put it all together. Now, if you don't need it all, just take the parts that you need. All right, don't try to take everything I'm saying. Just take the parts that you need. Let me do this first. That's suggesting that they're going this far. The market is like you and I. Whenever you have a thought, you have the end in mind. You know exactly what you want to do and how you want to do it. All right. So the market is the same way. It's telling you what it's willing to do. Now you have primary, secondary values, but you like to go with the primary thing first. However, you'll settle for the secondary thing. All right. So just try to keep that in mind because it's a fluid event, so it changes. All right. But most of the time, I promise you, this is what it's doing. It's telling you what it's willing to do. Now, here's the center of that trend, which is the idea itself, okay? And when you have an idea, you have a value attached to it. So the center of the trend, the cost of the thought, all right? COT. Just think of it like that, COT. Center of trend, cost of the thought. It all works the same. They're suggesting that they're going to come back down here. All right? Now, they could very well do this, all right? They're hanging out beneath the center of the chart. Notice that, all right? They can do this, which just kind of equates to the same thing if you ask me, all right? So I'm just remove that. This is the center of the chart. Notice what they're doing. We put this line here, all right? We put this line here. We already know that the bezel, that's why we drew it out. The bezel offers us the cyclical responses. So you don't have to look left. If they're going to drive the market up or down, it's going to happen right in front of you. All right. I think the midpoint is a little shy on this one, but let's just go with it. All right. Big wick, little wick. Now, the next thing I want to tell you, because I told you big wick, little wick. Let me just draw this here so you'll always have a reference point when you look at the video. We want the big wick, little wick. The next thing that you'll want to find is the little body fitting into here, the next candle twice. It may not be this. That's okay. If we can get at least 2 of these to add up, that'll just be wonderful. If not, if we can get all 3, that's just fantastic. And I think this may be a bit shy. I got indicators for it, but I'm just not going to put them up here. We're going to look at the plain chart so you'll know how to read the plain chart with nothing on it. I think that could be all of it. So that's suggesting a move lower, right? So that's suggesting that they may give it to us here again. I don't think that midpoint hit it. Maybe this one here. Maybe this one. All right. Yeah, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. All right. So that's all of it. Now you can get in this while it's moving. You absolutely can. That's fantastic if you can get it all. And so you go with what it suggests. All right. Give or take. Give or take. And that's right there. So it's actually adding up to wanting to hit the trend distance. All right. It's adding up to wanting to hit the trend distance. I know we had a trend here, and again, that's why I told you, either this is your bottom or we're going to try to head down to that 29,483.75. If they can get up under there, maybe they'll go down some more. Now, that price that I showed you with that 30,334.50 is important. I said that on yesterday, that they may have a problem if they cannot get back above that. All right, may have a problem. Just got to see where it goes. Now, if they're going to go up, they're offering us that same information back to the upside with all of it. It's just the trend is not there, right? That's all of it. Bigger wick than no wick, okay? Mid is above the high. The body can fit in there twice. It can't be both. It can't be both. And they're doing it again back in this direction. Right now, I don't like this turn right now. I don't like it. I'm be honest. They ran past our pattern. I really don't care for that. I think this turn is weak. But from our first scenario, we really just don't want them up here. So let's just go with the threshold here. Threshold on your bar is roughly there. All right. Now keep in mind we're still beneath the center of the chart. However, they rotated just right here. Now let me color this line so we don't get them all mixed up and confused here. They rotated off the lower half of your chart. All right, rotated off the lower half. Let me color this one while we're up here. All right, the goal is to make trading very simple for anyone that's coming to the channel. And again, I have tons of information to offer you. Indicators, information, I got it all. I've been doing this for a very long time, but I don't like the trading space. I don't like what's happening. So people are having a very difficult time trading because there's a lot of rules. My stuff don't offer that. Okay, I want to say that to you. If you need a stop placement, this is what you're looking for. All right, so this is your stop placement. If you want to know your trend, so let's kind of type this out here. So this is your stop placement. So when you come to the channel, this is, now I trade better than I spell. Stop placement. All right, so we stop placement. Okay, let's put that there. I trade better than I spell. All right, so here we go. That's your stop placement stuff. All right, now the next thing I told you was your trend. So your trend would be 7. Okay, 7. I told you just need to be able to count less than 10. All right, so 7 bars closing, in this case, closing lower. Oh, there we go. I knew it'll show up eventually. Closing. I'm thinking fast, that's all. Closing lower than the prior one. All right, so then the prior one. All right. I think a little fast, that's all. Don't worry about the spelling, I just think a little fast. I'm ahead of myself. All right, so here we go. Now I told you this low could end up holding for the rest of the day if they want to go up. All right, so in this case, because we're going down, that's all. Now apply the same rule, but turn it on its head if we're going up. So let's just color this red. All right, we don't want to get stuff confused. All right, now the next thing you'll want to do is use your threshold. So the threshold, okay, so we're going threshold. Now this will deal with bar retracement. All right, bar retracement slightly. We're going to say slightly outside the mid. Okay, so the mid. Let's go midpoint so you know exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so threshold slightly outside the midpoint. That's what that little blue box is all about. All right, slightly outside the midpoint. So maybe this one is going to hold. Maybe. All right, that was fantastic. That was pretty good. All right, so you have to take the bezel. Chart scale. So we're just going to put chart scale. All right, so this is our chart scale divided. Chart scale. Here we go again. Divided. All right, divided. Okay, so this is all you would need. These are the pieces. All right, so you got your 7 bars, you got your chart scale divided, your stop placement, and then your threshold slightly outside the mid. So you don't have to have the math right. I do provide a tool that actually would put it on your bar so you'll know exactly what those prices are, because they're important if the bars are really large. If they're smaller, just eyeball it. That's all you have to do, eyeball it. All right, so they're coming back to the chart scale. Okay, let's just kind of throw this forward again. All right, now let's kind of move this. All right. All right, now you see what's happening. Then let's move this one as well, just in case they actually want to go up. I'm not going to move these lines. I do provide you an image that you can place on your chart that will not move. All right, even though the bezel, the actual price scale here, it moves. I don't want you to move. I want you to keep mind of what they're doing. This is pretty good, but they got it from above again. Let's count our bars because they may be doing the trend. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5. That's only 5. That's not it yet. Now, from below you had this trend, and if you want to go with that, you can do that. And the center of this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 7. So that'll be roughly right here. Now I'm gonna do this COT, which is the center of the trend, and we'll just leave that red line there. So, but I'm gonna make this green. All right, so the cost of the thought, center of the trend, that's the COT. All right, now I'll put the COT up here so you'll know what that is as well. And this is what you're looking for, right? For them to respond at the center of the trend, okay? Which is, again, like you and I, you have a thought, you have the end in mind. You know exactly what you want to do and when you want to do it. They absolutely are in control of this experience, and so they know when they want to turn the market. They know before we know. We're just witnessing the process pretty much as they unfold it for us, but they already know, and they being the ones that's controlling the outcome. All right, that's all. So you don't have to look left. Let's see if we can get them above the center of this chart, and then I absolutely will go. I don't want to hold you much longer here. We're right at 15 minutes. I wanted to make the video right about 15 minutes, but I want to see if they can get above that center of the chart. But if they can't do it, then I absolutely must go. We're going to try to bring this right to a close within 20 minutes. All right, I tried to make the video 15 minutes. Remember, the idea has the end in mind. All right, just want to keep that. Okay, so this is your end. Okay, so take away the pieces that you need. So this is the end of the idea. Okay, don't kid yourself about what they're doing. All right, sometimes they move it around a bit, try to throw you off. Have you considering other things? All right. The idea started from here, all right? So the idea started from up here. It's like you and I'm just trying to help you make better decisions. So when you look at the market, that's all I'm trying to do, help you make a better decision. Don't keep changing your mind, all right? Try to pick a direction. Just try to pick a direction if you're holding it. If you're in and out, look for your stop placement stuff, because you can jump this stuff in real time, have a small target, and you're done with it, all right? If you're holding positions, this is what you're doing. Idea, end of the idea. Okay? The end of it. All right? What is the end of it all? That's what you're doing. You're not going to give up what you know should happen. You know that they can come back to the center of the trend, the cost of the thought. They can come back here, right? They can rotate still away from it. So it's not off the table per se. It's not gone. Vice versa. So if they came here, let me just kind of throw this here. We have 5. So if they wanted to put 7, you know your cost of your thought, the center of your trend is at the midpoint of it, right? They don't have to blow the trend itself from here either. They don't have to do that. They can come down, just hang out a little bit, come back up here, give you the other 2, and then go. Now I'm going to give you an estimation, because I did tell you this could possibly be the bottom. I did tell you that. But we'll have to see. Now, if they did 7, because I believe, let me see what the high here. Okay, well, the close. Let's go with the close. 722.50. Let's see what we got here. Now, we came in lower. That's not it. But those 2 closes will wind up here, and that would say that they'll blow this, downtrend. I was looking over here. I don't like what's up there at the top. I think it would work, but I don't like it. That's saying that they will get somewhere up here. All right, that's what that's suggesting. That's what the market does. It suggests. All right. So we're at 18 minutes, people. 18 minutes, and they're stalling us out. All right. Now look at the chart scale. Look at the chart scale. We're just going to move this forward just a bit more. All right. Notice what they're doing. We already had mapped this out. Okay. We had already mapped all of this out before the bars began to print. All right. We mapped this out. Simple stuff. It's not complicated. All right. We have yet to get our trend for the upside. Let me just kind of sit this over here until they make that 7 bars. All right. Let's see. Because I still believe that there's a chance that this may still be on the table. They was up here and they didn't get past that. That's not fun. Now, had they got past it, I would have left that there, but that's not fun. So let's see what they do with this. And again, I'm about to go because it's 19 minutes and they're still stalling. What I want you to do is go back to your chart. Remember the price that I told you, 29. I'm going to just type it on the chart here. All right, 29. See if they can get under this price for today and just hang out, just in some way. 29, 483.75. All right, see if they can hang out under there today. See if they can do that. Just see if they can stay down there. All right. And above us, I'm going to put this here. The price from yesterday was 30,334.50. Right? These are prices that's important. Now, I did tell you that I believe that they can hold that high for the rest of the month. Right? I did say that, and that was back on the 9th. So, yeah, 9th. 11 something this morning. The high on the daily could hold for the rest of the month. It's the 24th, all right? I'm ahead of price. I even put that in there before they even made that high. I don't know how far back I would have to go, but that's important as well. Before they even turn the market, all right? Before they even turned it, it's somewhere. I'm not going to take up much more time because I got to go. I gotta go. I gotta go. I can't find it. But if you've been following me, I told you that they would turn this market when they were heading up. And I gave you a price that could be an issue. Gave you a price that could be an issue somewhere down here. I want to show it to you. I really want to show it to you before I go. All right. So we're at a 20. I think that was it. I think that was the price. I'm not certain. I can't spend any more time with this. Again, 20 minutes. All right, in 20 minutes, you just learn trading. Take the pieces that you need, and I will definitely be back at some point. I just don't know when. And I wish you absolutely all the best with your trading. Take care.